This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. A marijuana field has been discovered by officers of the Predator Unit on Grand Bahama. Reports are that on Monday, shortly after 5:30 p.m., officers of the Predator Unit, while acting on intelligence, went to an area off Grand Bahama Highway between Pelican Point and McLean's Town in East Grand Bahama, where they discovered a marijuana field containing a number of marijuana plants. 500 plants were discovered, ranging in height between 6 inches and 3 feet. Officers of the Drug Enforcement Unit are continuing investigation into this matter. And 2 Grand Bahamians were arraigned in the magistrate's court on that island on Tuesday. 27-year-old Monica Mackey and 39-year-old Travell Lightborn, both of Fortune Bay Drive, were arraigned before Magistrate LaQuay Lang in Magistrate Court Number 3 on 2 counts of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, namely cocaine and Indian hemp. They both pleaded not guilty to the offenses and were granted bail in the amount of $6,000 with 1 or 2 suretors. They are also required to sign in to the Central Police Station every Monday and Wednesday between the hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The matter was adjourned to the 8th of June this year for trial. International COVID-19 update following 230 COVID-19 tests completed on Tuesday, March 9th. Health officials confirming 16 new cases of the coronavirus in country. Abaco with the bulk of cases, with 12 additional cases confirmed, 2 cases on Grand Bahama and 1 case each on New Providence and Cat Island. These new cases increase the total number of cases in the country to 8,658. 906 of that number are active cases, 17 are hospitalized, 1 in the intensive care unit at the doctor's hospital. 30 cases recovered on Wednesday, pushing the total there to 7,513. The death toll remains at 185. 582 tests have been completed to date. Minister of Social Services Frankie Campbell says after the infamous video of children being beaten at the Children's Emergency Hostel, some significant changes have been made. He said it was a trying time for the Social Services Department because what transpired at the children's home in September 2020 is not policy. During his contribution to the mid-year budget debate on Tuesday night, the minister noted that the Social Services Department was already making a review of its management agreement, but the incident, which went viral, expedited the need to make the necessary changes to comply with local and international legislation. According to Minister Campbell, since that incident, each child care facility has received very clear directions about punishment and established laws.
And we ensured that, like they do in the police stations, our diaries and logbooks will be properly kept, documenting every incident, and we've authorized the members of the Child Protection Council to make unannounced visits at our children's homes, where they are mandated to view those logbooks, and upon being satisfied that all appears to be in order, sign off.
The minister says Social Services has taken a number of additional steps to ensure rules and regulations are followed at child care facilities.
As a result, Mr. Speaker, we ensured that a letter was hand-delivered to each member institution, each of our child care institutions throughout the Bahamas. There are 8 of them. Each staff member was given a letter with specific instructions that corporal punishment would cease, and they were asked to sign showing proof of their receipt of the letter.
According to the minister, psychologists from the Ministry of Education have begun therapeutic intervention with the children, including field trips. Minister Campbell reminding that the matter is now in the hands of police, who have charged 6 former employees with cruelty to children. Those 6 employees were granted bail and will return to court on November 2nd. And a handful of frustrated furloughed Atlantis workers took their frustrations to Rawson Square this morning, calling on the mega resort to make them redundant, as they feel as if they're being held hostage. Second Vice President of the Bahamas General Workers Union, David Beckford, who led the group, says this.
The employer shall redundant the worker, and these workers should have the first opportunity to be called back when business pick up. So I don't understand why Atlantis in particular. And if we have to march over Paradise Island, if we have to march to the Prime Minister's office, we're going to do it.
Now, based on the 2017 Employment Act, once a worker has been sent home for 13 weeks or a 90-day period, an employer has to either recall them to work or terminate them with full compensation. But the emergency orders have deferred the redundancy provision. Arabia Bridgewater, a 14-year worker, says there's too many unanswered questions. However, she sends this message to the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Minis, I don't know about you, but I've had to take a pay cut in the last year. Have you had to experience any of that? Have you had to wait on NIB to pay you? Have you ever felt like you were between a rock and a hard place, waiting on an employer to call you back based on tourism after a whole year? Tourism is not going to save this country.
You're watching Jcn News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.